Hi there, with another revision video from me, the History Tutoring. This time I'm tutoring you through how to describe questions for the Edexcel iGCSE and the topic of the First World War. And this time we're going to be thinking about the impact of Russia leaving the war and America joining the war. So in this quick video, as I said, we're going to look at the 6-mark describe scale, and we're going to revise our knowledge firstly on Russia leaving the war and America joining the war, the events of 1917. So have a look through a revision guide and revise your knowledge, or have a look through my YouTube video on the content. We're then going to have a quick quiz, and then we're going to go through how to answer the question to get top marks. Okay, so here's our quick quiz, this time in the form of a crossword puzzle. So have a look through the revision guide, or have a look through my videos and or notes, of course, and see if you can answer these questions. Pause now, and away you go. Okay, let's go through the across answers first. So, number 3 across, the first big Russian defeat in August 1914. This is the Battle of Tannenberg. Now, the Russians have been very successful when they mobilised. They mobilised a lot quicker than Germans thought. Germans had to spoil their Schlieffen plan by moving soldiers from west to east. But they easily won the Battle of Tannenberg and also another battle called the Masurian Lakes. Many thousands of Russian soldiers were taken prisoner, and it was an easy defeat, and the Russians were pushed out of Germany. Number 5, who is thought to be controlling the Tsarina and Russia, and that was Rasputin. Of course, he was assassinated in 1916. It shows the sort of crisis that was developing in Russia at the time, that they thought the Russian Tsarina and Rasputin were in charge of the country. Number 6, the month in the European calendar of the First Russian Revolution, 1917. That's February. So strikes developed. People were unhappy at food costs, and they rose up and removed the Tsar, and the provisional government took over. However, the provisional government did carry on fighting the war. Number 7, leader of the Bolsheviks in the October Revolution. That's Lenin, of course. Number 8, led an attempted coup or revolt to take control of Russia in August 1917. So that's Kornilov. Now, he was a military general, and he tried to send soldiers into Petrograd, or St. Petersburg, to take over. But the Bolsheviks stopped them, and the Bolsheviks became heroes. And this helped them become popular towards their revolution. Number 1, down, a telegram sent to Mexico to try and convince them to join the war, is the Zimmermann telegram. This was around about the time of the Germans starting their unrestricted U-boat campaign in 1917, and they thought they could distract the Americans if Mexico got involved in the war. But it was a sort of final straw for the Americans when they joined the war. And the big ship that ended the German U-boat campaign in 1915. So what I mean by that is sort of the ship that was sunk, of course. So the Lusitania was sunk in 1915, and the Americans suggested they might join the war, so the Germans backed down on their U-boat campaign. And finally, the Russian general who led a big offensive in 1916, that's Brusilov. So he showed that the Russians could be a force in the war, and his offensive was a great success against the Austrians. But when the Germans turned up to reinforce them, the Russians were on retreat. This was sort of spelling doom towards the regime and a bad winter, as well as bad front line combined for revolution. Yes, let's have a look at the question then. So the question says, describe 2 features of Russia leaving the war in 1918, and it's 6 marks. Now, if you look at my other describe videos, I've talked to you about the success criteria. If you've got my revision guide, hopefully you've made a note of those key criteria. In this case, we obviously need to describe 2 ideas. I suggest you make a point, and then you back it up with a couple of pieces of evidence. You then make a new point, and you back it up with a couple of pieces of evidence. So it's like doing a peel paragraph, but without the explanation. History is an argument, so just you need to make an argument. So let's go through some ideas then. Use your revision guide now and fill in a plan, or with a piece of paper, think about a question and make a plan. What do you think will make a good point? What facts and evidence can you use? Have a think. Over to you. Okay, so here's my ideas then. So you could have different ones, of course, but these are some ones I've come up with. So first, I'm suggesting that Germany was not blockaded so badly now in the east and had access to resources, even if they weren't that great. So the Treaty of Brest-Litovsk gave money to Germany, and Germany had access to lands like Ukraine and Poland, so they were not as badly blockaded as they were. Secondly, Germany and Austria-Hungary could concentrate on other fronts to try and win the war. So Germany could move soldiers to focus on the Western Front and lead to things like the Spring Offensive to try and win the war. And they were trying to do this before America arrived. And Austria-Hungary could focus on the Italian and Sri Lanka fronts to try and win there. How do we write this? So here is a writing frame of how we might do this. Of course, we're going to make a point. one feature of Russia leaving the war in 1918 was this. Then give some evidence, for example. Then another feature of Russia leaving the war was this, and then give some evidence. Okay, so let's go through this step by step. Try and make an opening point first of all. In my plan, I was suggesting about it helping with the supplies and food crisis. Maybe you have your own idea. So write your first point. So one feature of Russia leaving the war in 1918 was that. Give it just an opening point. Put it down, away you go. Okay, so I've said that Russia leaving the war in 1918 was that it released some of the pressure of the British naval blockade on Germany. Kept it quite simple. You could say end to blockade or access to more resources if you like. It's what would be a good example to back up the first piece of example evidence. So pause now, see if you can back up this idea with a bit of knowledge. Got your own idea, and obviously try and back it up with some facts and knowledge. Over to you. Okay, so I've said that, for example, the Treaty of Brest-Litovsk agreed to free Poland and Ukraine. Ukraine was known as the breadbasket of Europe, so the Germans to have more supplies after their struggle supplies during the turnip winter of 1916. Then I've started setting up another example. Hopefully your example's got some couple of nice facts in there, or some good understanding of the event to describe what's going on. See if you can add another piece of detail to this idea, another example, or further description. Pause now, see if you can add a bit more. Okay, so I've said also the treaty agreed huge reparations from Russia to Germany. This would give more money to Germany at a time when they were struggling with debt. Of course, the war was very expensive. They had to loan lots of money to allies and they were struggling with money. Let's just make a second point then. So another feature of Russia leaving the war in 1918 was that we talked about being able to concentrate on other fronts. So how would you introduce that idea? Pause me now and off we go. Okay, so I've said that another feature of Russia leaving the war in 1918 was that the Germans are not interested to focus on winning on other fronts. Now let's give some evidence to back this up. Pause me now, see if you can describe an idea. Okay, so I've said, for example, the Germans could move their soldiers from the Eastern Front to the Western Front. They led the Ludendorff Front to try and win the war before the Americans arrived. The last-ditch attempt to win the war now was available to them. Okay, so what's another piece of knowledge you could give? Pause now and see if you can add another piece of detail on this. Maybe you consider Austria. Maybe you could consider something else about Germany. Away you go. I've said also the Austro-Hungarian army could focus on the Italian and flank front to try and win the war. Okay, so let's have a look at a second question. Let's have a think about USA joining the war. I've got a question here. Describe two features of the USA joining the war in 1917. Again, it's 6 marks. The same principle applies as the other described questions. We need a point, a couple of pieces of evidence, a point, a couple of pieces of evidence. Look through your revision guide now, look through your notes, look through my revision videos, and make a plan. Pause now and off we go. Okay, so here's my plan. I said, first point is the Allies would have more resources and soldiers, of course, with the Americans joining the war. The USA had a large industrial economy and could provide more weapons and supplies. By June 1918, 50,000 US soldiers arriving every week. Secondly, Germany was forced to lead an all-out offensive to try and win the war before the US arrived. So Ludendorff led the spring offensive to try and win the war. Germans overstretched themselves, and this led to the 100-day counterattack and the defeat of the Germans and defeat of the Hindenburg Line. Okay, so hopefully two really solid arguments. So how do we write that? We want to say a point, one feature of the USA joining the war, 1917 was this, set up the argument. Give some evidence, for example, give 2 or 3 sentences of evidence, and then repeat the process. Let's go through this together, shall we? Make a point, first of all. You can use a paper or write this in your revision guide, and away we go. So one feature of the USA joining the war in 1917 was, we're going with my idea, we're talking about supplies and the amount of industrial help America can give. How would you start that? Pause me now and off we go. Okay, so I've said that one feature of the USA joining the war in 1917 was that it gave the Allies more resources and soldiers. So in really, really simple opening sentence, don't want to overcomplicate it. Now let's give some evidence. For example, the USA, okay, what do you know about the USA? How could they help with resources and soldiers? Describe an example now. Okay, so I've said, for example, the USA was one of the richest economies in the world, with a very large industrial economy. This led to the Allies having more access to guns, ammunition, and also vehicles and tanks. So I'm not going to put a lot of facts in there, but there's some good understanding. So let's give something now with some facts to show that there were soldiers and resources coming along every single week. Pause now and give some more facts. And I said, also by June 1918, 50,000 fresh US soldiers arrived every week. This was at a time when the Allies and Central Powers were tired of 3 years of intense war, so it was a crucial time when they're joining. Really helpful. Let's make our second point then, the desperation of Germany to win. So another feature the USA joined the war was, how are you going to set up that argument? Pause now, and away you go. Alright, so here's what I've said. Another feature USA joined the war in 1917 was that it led Germany to lead a desperate attempt to win the war, resulting in a successful Allied counterattack. Right, so I've set up my story quite nicely. Very simple. It's what I'm going to talk about. Let's give a bit of evidence now. The first part of this story, how Ludendorff reacts. Let's give an example. Away you go. Okay, so I've said, for example, General Ludendorff thought that Germany could not win the war once the USA was using its full influence. So in 1918, Ludendorff led the spring offensive to try to win the war. By August, it had gained land back to the River Marne. But, okay, is there something else to say about this? So, is there more detail? Maybe you've done it already. But if you haven't got more detail, then particularly about maybe the counterattack, then describe it now. So, pause now and see if you can add a bit more. So I've said, but it overstretched and the Allies won the war with American support in the 100-day counterattack that took the Hindenburg line. Hey, have you found that useful and you developed your skills further and revised your knowledge? If you did find it useful and you've not got my revision guide, then do look at buying it. You'll find information about that in this video's information. And also don't forget to subscribe to my channel if you're not already. I hope to keep adding loads more help for you with your GCSEs. Bye bye for now.